everyone, and welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? A show where everything is made up, but the points actually do matter. If any of that sounds a little familiar, well, that's because yes, this is an improv comedy podcast where all the stories you're about to hear were completely made up on the spot, guided and prompted by real improv comedy games. How does it work? Well, two players are tasked with having a podcast-like interview or conversation, making it all up as they go, but there's a third guest who can interrupt at any time and give them new rules or new directions for their conversation via a list of different improv games and guidelines. How do you win? Well, if a player breaks character or simply doesn't follow the rules of the game they're in at the time, the other person is awarded a point, and at the end of a 20-minute time limit, the guest with the most points wins, and of course, becomes known to the world as a comedic genius. So, without any further ado, let's find out who's making stuff up in this episode.
We got it?
Sync point set.
Yeah.
No, now there's another. Oh my god.
We got two of those claps.
Now we got two claps.
It's my microphone
you just
covering
get mad
my
at me?
beautiful face.
Yes.
Oh no.
I'm angry.
No, there's three.
Fuck.
Terry.
That was such a terrible clap. Did you hear how bad that one
That
was?
wasn't allowed.
Terry.
Terry? Who calls you Terry?
The only people that ever call me Terry are like 85-year-old white women. They're the only people that ever call me Terry.
It's because they look at you, and the only way that they can disarm you in their mind is by giving you the whitest name. Like
Terry. Look at Terry.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Terry.
Yeah. I usually just let it go because they're old and they're going to die soon anyway.
That's understandable, and I think I'm going to keep all this in because hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is Whose Life Is It Anyway? It's an improv comedy show where obviously everything's made up, but actually the points do in fact matter. And joining me for this episode, when we're about to make up a life story as we go, my good friend Terry.
Yeah.
Hey, yes. Terry.
Hello, 85-year-old white woman.
How you doing, Terry?
Yes, I'm doing
good to have
great.
you here, pal. Good to have you here, buddy.
Feels good. Feels good.
Good old buddy, old pal. Terrance Davis on the show. Welcome. Thank you for
Thanks
being
for
here.
having me.
I
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
appreciate
And the person I will be playing against in this episode, the person I will be tasked with making up a story, Shaena Rabbani. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, Ross and Terry.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Ross, Terry,
Rossi
and Iggaby all here on the show together. It's
Iggaby, yes.
wonderful. So, without any further ado, everybody should know what's going to go on around here. But Shaena and I are going to into the world of podcasting. We're going to make up our own podcast-worthy interview or life story right off the top of our heads. And our good pal Terry, a.k.a. Terrance, is going to be in the host seat for this episode, and he's going to have this lovely list of all these different improv games, and he's going to be giving us all the prompts and rules to follow. And we got to still keep making up a story as we go. And one of us is going to get some points, and the other one might get less points, probably. And someone's going to
win.
Someone's going to be sick, and someone's going to be not sick.
Just want you to know, I take my hosting duties very serious.
I know.
And I run a tight ship.
I have heard you do,
Yes, I
and
run a
that's
tight
why I
ship.
wanted you on the show.
Yes.
I needed somebody to kind of really enforce the rules.
I've
Here on Whose
awarded
Life,
Shaena
so.
1 point.
Right
Already.
off the bat, the timer
Yes.
hasn't even started.
Wow.
You
Shaena
get
has
1
1
point.
point for being just so fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Yes, there it is.
So, before Shayna's awarded more points before the show even starts, Terrance, if you'd like to begin, start the clock, start the timer, and also assign us our roles. Who is the interviewer and who is the interviewee for
Okay.
this episode?
All right. So I think for this episode, I think that you will be doing the interview.
Okay.
And you will be the interviewee.
Beautiful.
That's the
We've
way
done
that
this
works?
before
Yep.
in
All right.
real
We've
life.
done
All
this
right.
before.
So-
Let's do it. All right. I'm going to start the clock right now.
Okay, so Shaena, big fan. I really appreciate you being down to make time to be on my show. This is a pretty big deal. I know you've been in the news a lot recently. So thanks for making the time.
Yeah, thank you so much for wanting me here. You know, I'm pretty excited to be here. So thank you.
So let's just kind of jump into it. You were the first person to actually travel back in time from the future. So what was the year? 2090?
Yep, 2090.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, lay it out for me. The listeners, the viewers, they're going to want to know, what's 2090 like?
Yeah, so I do have an NDA with 2090. Like, they have told me I'm not really allowed to. NDA, for those of you who don't know, is a non-disclosure. So it's basically a form that says I'm not allowed.
Terrance is battling the here. Well,
Terry, you good?
Oh.
you just a little tap.
Okay.
Just a little.
All right. Take that back. You don't have an NDA. You have some other excuse.
Why I can't tell you? Yeah, I actually can't tell you because when you leave the future, they give you something, and your memory is completely wiped. So,
Take that back. You give another reason.
okay, I actually can't tell you about the future because it's not true.
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah,
you're not from the future.
yeah, I'm not.
So, okay, so why did you make this lie up?
No,
What's the point?
actually what happened, it was just a big misunderstanding. And so I really wanted to be on this so I could tell my story, so I could let people know because it's
This
been all
is
over the news and people are talking about it, and I
Way
just think
less
people...
interesting now, but yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Great Scott.
Yeah. All right.
Oh. You know what, actually...
You have been deducted 1 point because we don't
Wait,
know what's
you can
happening
take points
here.
away?
I mean,
we've removed a point.
He's the host. He's
As the
control right now.
viewer, you've now been awarded 1 point because you had to put up with this.
Nice.
Okay.
Viewer has
okay.
1 point.
All right.
Good.
Shayna has 0 points.
Honestly,
Okay.
you've built a lot of distrust in the viewers'
Yeah, I
listeners
know,
this
I know.
episode.
Let's start over.
Yeah.
Let's start
You've been
over.
lying. Well,
Let's
no, we
start
have to
over.
keep
No,
going.
no.
So, Shayna, I mean, so, okay, so can you lay it out for me?
Yes.
You're from the future, you're not from the future. I mean, I thought it was a pretty big deal to have you on my show, but now I find out that you're a liar. So what was the misunderstanding? I'm misunderstanding right now. Very
Yeah,
confused.
so I was actually telling somebody that I liked something from the 1990s / 2000s. And I accidentally said 90s after so I love the 2000s, 90s.
So-
And then the world went with it. And it was
Really?
on the news, and they thought I was from the future. But if you look very closely, no one's ever interviewed me or even asked me about it.
I mean, this was going to be your first interview.
Yeah,
This was gonna
ever,
be your
you
first
know.
okay.
Yeah, so I was really excited to finally get to just tell my truth. Like, you guys, I'm not from the future.
I don't know who you're talking to. This is just my show. I don't know who else you're looking at.
I
There's no
don't
one else
actually
here.
exist
Oh.
here.
Not in our world.
Oh, okay.
All right, so while you're telling this story about you not being from the future and you just being a goddamn liar, you will have to integrate.
No, I'm not. It was an accident.
We'll have to-
It wasn't me. It was the world.
No, he's not a part of our story.
Yeah.
You got to
It
save
was
that
the
for
world.
me.
It was the world. So,
So
it
what
was
he's
just
saying
a
is, so
big,
we're,
big, big.
we're playing Whose Line?
Yes.
It was
so
just
a
as you
big-
tell your story, you will have to integrate to the viewers at home. They'll have to integrate these 3 random phrases in the story that they tell.
It was just a big misunderstanding. It wasn't a lie. It wasn't anything. It was literally someone
Okay.
heard me. They ran with it, and now we're here. And
But
so
Shayna, you've been being paid millions of dollars for the last 6 to 7 months. And every time someone has said, I can't believe you're from the future, you just kind of go, yeah.
Take that back. Podcasting doesn't pay millions of dollars.
Oh, I'm not paying her. So I can't believe you. I mean, you've been doing all of these interviews, likely for free, because no one really cares if someone's from the future or not. That's sort of like, I don't know, that's a 90s thing. Like, no one really cares anymore.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've been accepting all these interviews. You've been on a lot of talk shows. You've been on. I know this is your first podcast you've been on, but I'm just confused as to why never once you. I remember the whole reason that I wanted you on this show is because I saw an interview clip. I think it was on YouTube. Of you, I think you did Oprah of all things. So
Yeah, I
you
did
literally relying on
Oprah.
Oprah. And I remember you sitting there
No,
talking
no.
with Oprah, and you really looked at her and you said, "Have you seen my blankie?"
yeah.
And, and then you pull out this like foil, like silver blankie, and you're like, "It's a blankie from the future."
Yeah.
So like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. It's a misunderstanding, sure, but like you've really been kind of running
Yeah.
with it, haven't you?
So what happened was an agent found me as soon as he found out that like there was this misunderstanding. He found me. And did I say that an agent found me? Okay, so he found me.
An
and
agent.
Yeah,
Agent,
an agent.
not an
yeah.
agent.
Yeah, an agent.
Okay.
He found me and he said, hey, Shayna, jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Yeah.
So he was like, I need to make you the toughest bean. And so he said, he was like, listen, I need you to run with this story for many reasons.
So
they must be protecting something in the future. And unfortunately, I'm just a pawn here.
This honestly makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of lies being intertwined here, because there's the whole conspiracy that you're covering up of the future, and then the whole 9/11 conspiracy that guy was saying of jet fuel not being able to melt
This is
steel.
getting really good. So I'm going to have you actually switch roles. You are now the interviewee, and you are the interviewer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do we stay in the same, is it whatever we
Same-
want, or
same
same thing
characters.
just flipped?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
just flipping our.
So tell me more about lying from being from the future.
Okay, so the thing is, so like after I decided to sign on with an agent, you know, I mean, because like Hollywood's this big thing. I mean, it's the entertainment biz,
Yeah, we
baby.
get
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, we make shit up all the time.
You know what
right?
they always say in Hollywood? They always say,
Yeah, I know.
do you know where I can find a dead baby before 5? You know? I get it.
That's true.
Showbiz.
It is. They run around. They're always looking for dead bodies of all sorts. It is wild. It is a big showbiz saying, something I've learned a lot of. But there's a lot of cover-ups in showbiz.
Yeah.
You know, from 9/11 to stuff like this, and me, you know, being from the future, but not really being from the future. So I just wanted to roll with it, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, I'll never forget. Okay, this is when the fame started getting to me, and I decided, you know what? I am just going to commit to it. I'm
Yeah.
going to commit to the
Yeah.
story. I'm going to commit to the lie, because I was walking down the street. Somebody had seen me on the news.
Wow.
And this person walks up to me. They look me in the eye. And they just say, cool, sounds good. I'm going to go take my dick out of my pants now.
They said that to
They
you?
just said that to me. Now, the thing is, I think they
The
were actually
fame.
talking on their phone to someone else. And I just sort of actually overheard their conversation. But to me, I was like, I was supposed to hear that. So, like, for me, the lie is concealing the dick in my pants.
Oh, it's a metaphor.
But just let the dick out. Let the
let
dick
it
out
out.
and let it go. So it's like, yeah.
And that's
I
why-
was from the future. That's why I just committed to it, you know?
There were a lot of dick jokes there. The way you were able to seamlessly integrate the dick in there, you're awarded a point, Ross.
Yes.
Right now,
Thank
Shaena
you.
has -1 point. The audience has 1 point. Ross has 1 point.
Good. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing really well.
Yes,
you guys
yes,
are doing
you
really
guys
well.
are doing
You are a
excellent.
wonderful host, and I appreciate you being here.
We'll continue the
relax.
story. I'm going to have you
It's
switch
okay.
back. You are now conducting the interview. You are being interviewed. But we're going to go to questions only for the segment of the interview.
So you just sort of took it as like a metaphorical meaning for your life?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I feel like I've always, I believe that I want to just be really inspirational. And so don't you think that that was a good idea for me to do?
That was the longest question ever. Continue. No points have been awarded.
Could you help me understand?
I'm not sure, what is it that you don't understand? What part of it is it that you don't understand?
So when were you born exactly?
When was I born? You're asking me, even though, do you know the answer to that?
Do you have to keep asking such long questions?
Do you have to keep calling me out for it?
Why are you yelling?
I'm not sure. Oh!
Even though you
I was
bombed
getting real
twice,
defensive.
you bombed twice.
like-
Shaena has now been awarded 1.7 points. So that means right now you have 0.7 points right now.
Oh. I thought I got 7 points.
Nope, just 0.7.
Just point
Does
seven.
Ross get a point?
Yeah, wait, I forgot. Yes, you won that.
I did
You
win.
messed up. I'm
Right.
sorry. I meant to
No, it's
subtract
okay.
another
No,
point.
we can keep
Ross,
it. We can
Ross
keep
has
it that
another
way.
point.
Thank
You
you.
now have negative 2.7 points. Negative 2.7.
You're going, actually, you gotta catch this
is
up.
what you
Okay,
have right
so
now.
I need to.
has
Okay,
more points.
okay, all right.
Audience is
So
still in the lead.
here's the thing. I've always wanted to be an inspiration to the world. I believe that I have a voice, and I thought if I just give myself a platform, once I'm on that platform, I can just tell the world. So
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but I kind of want to get to the bottom of something. So you're talking about you want this platform, you want to be an inspiration. Why was it the first thing you said at that future rally, as it was labeled? You stood up in front of everyone, you got a megaphone, and you said, I wasn't there, but I heard there weren't enough snacks.
wow,
Was-
I
were you-
absolutely said that. Yeah.
Were you subtly revealing? Were you trying to get it off your chest that you weren't actually there, but just no one listened? Is that the problem?
That's what I'm saying, is from the day, I've never, ever wanted it to get there. From the first day, I was like, literally, as soon as I said that, someone asked me, immediately they asked me a question, and I literally just said, you guys, hold on. And so that's when I realized I have a big-time Batman fetish.
Oh, okay. What a twist here. Okay.
Just want to pause. A big time Batman fetish is very exciting. Do you just like going around beating up poor people? Is that how you get off? I'm Shaena.
You know who Batman is.
So
you got a good Batman.
We're back to the
Batman.
Speaking of fetishes and all, I think we should play If You Know What I Mean, which everyone is going to talk in some sort of double entendres or something like that. But you'll see how this is played out.
So you're telling me you kind of like to stretch the old bat wing, if you catch my drift?
Yeah, and people just kind of, people heard me say that, and then they just sort of, yep,
Because Shayna's been struggling, I'm going to award her 2 points. It was such a struggle here.
Oh my God.
You now have
I'm so flustered.
0.7. You have 0.7 points.
All right.
Because
this is
you've
my
had
comeback.
to deal with
This
this.
is my comeback.
The audience has now been awarded a 2nd point.
Looks like you've been driven a little batty, if you know what I mean.
But
there you go. You get 0.5 points there.
okay.
So we're just past the halfway point. Ross has 2.5 points. The audience has 2 points, and Shaena has 0.7 points.
Yes. So basically, I have been trying to tell the world, hey, you guys, none of this, from the moment, if you go back and really look at those interviews, you will see from the very first one, I was like, you guys, you've got it all wrong. But the world wanted it so bad that they just went with it.
It kind of gives us hope, you know?
Absolutely. There's a future. Someone can come back. So they picked me.
But the whole Batman thing was just sort of like you're trying to throw everybody off the trail. Like maybe if I just say something wacky.
Yeah, the Batman thing. Yeah.
Do you actually have a Batman fetish? Or
No, I don't.
Not looking for a Dark Knight in your life anytime soon?
No.
That was a fantastic pun. I'm just going to interject, and we're going to award Ross another 0.5 points.
Okay.
I appreciate
Where are the rules to, there's a spider crawling in front of the camera. Do you see it?
I do see the spider.
Where is
that spider has now been awarded 2 points. Spider has 2 points.
Oh, I see it. There it is.
The audience has 2 points. Ross has 3 points. And Shaena, because you're so observant and saw the spider, you've been awarded 0.3 points. You now have 1 full point.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I wanted to do your interview because I felt like this one is me personally. And I can just be really honest. I'm not from the future, but I'm a really good person. And I didn't want that to come out the way it did. And so I finally just want to be like, hey, I fired my agent, the one who made me sign the thing. Okay. And so now we're here. So tell me about you, Ross.
Well, listen. Listen. We can get to that maybe after we stop recording or something. I've got a Batman costume or two that we can talk about maybe hanging out while I wear or something. But
you said a Batman costume or two.
Yes, I have a couple different eras of Batman.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So numbers. We're going to play the numbers game, number of words game. So
that's a good segue.
I'm going to give you, Ross, you said 2. All answers have to be with 2 words.
Yes, sir.
Because, Shaena, you only have 1 point. You'll have to, we'll give you 5 words to use.
Oh, okay. That makes total sense. Thank
That's
you,
called
Terry
a curveball. All right, begin.
Hey, quick, can I award you a point for that curveball?
I've awarded myself. Actually, you've been
Where
deducted
are the rules?
a point.
Where are the point rules? Can I read them?
I'm hosting here. Ross has awarded me a point.
Oh.
You're not allowed to award me any points, so I've removed 1 point from Ross, and I have given myself 5 points.
Oh my God!
Wait, you have 5 points.
Audience is in the lead. Is in second. I am now in the lead with 5 points.
Wow.
Ross, he had 3. Now he has 2 points because he doesn't know his damn role. All right, begin.
I need to show up.
This is Ross's podcast.
This is Ross's
studio, and I've just taken
meta.
over. Yes. All right. You were ordered two words. 5 words.
Go on.
So yeah, I'm happy here
Where's here?
on this podcast telling this.
Right now?
Yeah, it feels really good.
With me?
Well, just to speak truthfully.
What truth?
The truth that I'm here.
You're inspirational.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So anyway,
So anyway, what does that?
your story.
Oh, yes. So, like,
Yes, and
so I just was thinking.
I think that was a pretty good back and forth. Because you are a woman, you have been awarded 13% points fewer than Ross for that game. Ross, you, I don't know what
In the future, they don't stand for this kind of behavior. I mean, not that I would know.
0.13% times 1 point.
we can add it all up at the end.
Yeah,
if you want.
I'll need an abacus later. But we're going to play the alphabet game here. And we're going to start with the letter G.
Golly.
Go on. For real, go ahead. Oh shit! I shouldn't have spoke out loud.
That was close.
But
Shaena,
no cigar,
Shaena,
13 points
you
for me.
It's a barn burner here.
You're awarded 4 points, Shaena, for that. And the spider has been awarded an additional point because he has left.
That's good job. Good job wherever you are.
Yeah, I didn't know the spider. Can you imagine being a spider and you just got done making a nice web and you're going to have a date, because you're a man spider, and then someone just comes in and they fucking knock the spider web down and all that hard work that spider put into it. It's just going to go home lonely. Anyway.
Negative 1 point for Terry.
You took away like a minute of our game time here.
He did.
What are we?
I'm going to use podcaster producer powers.
Oh,
and I'm going to
change
add an
everything up here.
additional minute to this podcast
Nice.
because I was telling a menial story that wasn't going anywhere. I have decided to subtract 1 point from myself. I now have 4 points.
It's a fair.
Because
fair
I was
move.
called
Fair
out by
host.
Shaena and Ross both. Ross, you get 3 points, and Shaena, you get 7.
This is very fair. I appreciate
All right. We have added an additional minute, and we're going to wrap things up by using accents only.
Okay, so I get it. You went from the future. You were here. It's a big misunderstanding. But you leaned into it, but you just wanted to be an inspiration. And truthfully, I appreciate that. I really do.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Nothing else you want to add to that? I mean, so here's the thing. I like to keep these episodes short, sweet, to the point. And truthfully, I thought we were going to go a couple hours, but there's not really anything to talk about with you not actually being from the future. So let's end on this. I want to give you a chance to be inspirational.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right? So I just want you to, if there were any words you want to share with my audience, with my listeners, you know what I mean? What's the future that you hope there is? What do you hope for the future? You weren't there, so I understand you don't know. But what could we all be doing? What could we all be working towards?
I just think that everyone should speak their truth.
I'm sorry. That's great, but I think I forgot to ask you earlier. Where are you from?
Yes, where are you from?
Southern London, South South
London, Ohio.
London,
This
Ohio.
checks out. That makes sense.
We are still in the bonus time here. We have awarded because Shaena's accent was so bad, it actually made Ross lose points. So now it is a 5-5 tie. You guys are 1 point ahead of me.
Shuckers.
And we're going to finish this up with, instead of accents, we have about 50 seconds, and we're going to do impressions of whoever you can impersonate.
Like, zoinks. That's really good advice, man.
You know, I was just thinking that I'm really happy to be here today. Mm-hmm. Thank
Sorry,
you.
man. Like, I don't know who you are. Thanks for being on my show. Scooby.
Thanks.
Where are you?
Anyone in the audience who was able to determine what impersonation Shaena was doing, you are
Award
awarded
yourself.
100 points. If you do not know who this person is, so the suspense is killing me. Who were you impersonating?
I also want to know.
So it's a show on Hulu. It's called The Dropout, and it is this actor who plays this person in real life. It's very real, and
I'm going to interrupt you because Shane's just making shit up
No,
here.
no.
We don't know. None of that happened. It was on Netflix, also on Hulu. There was an actor playing an
Actor playing
actor.
this person
Get
in
the
real
hell
life.
out of
No,
here. What is happening?
good. It's good. Wait, who won?
Well, okay, the game is officially over.
The game is over.
We have
Thank you for having
wrapped
me,
up.
Ross Terry. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Audience
Thank you for
spider.
having
That
us.
was
I'm
wonderful. We
going
had
to
a spider run in here.
tally this up because this was a bit of a it was a tight race
was a heater.
here.
This was. You need to pull up a calculator.
There
were a
was
lot of
some
points.
deductions, some additions, some subtractions.
The anticipation is killing
But
me.
the spider's in the third place.
Sorry, buddy.
Job,
I
Spider.
am
There you are.
in second place,
Hey, great job, Terrance.
and the audience, you're in last there, unless you were able
Well-
to know.
Oh, unless
If you knew her impression,
Yeah, we
you
don't
got
know.
like 100 points.
In just because I'm going to pander a bit here, because we have a woman here who's she's a minority, and as people of color, we're going to stick together here.
I'm trying to do.
we're down with the man. You guys have had your time here in the limelight. So Shaena has won remarkably by a score of 34-6.
That's what, and I can't
And
argue
you won
it,
all the
or I'm
games.
racist. So this is the perfect case scenario.
We are the winner.
I can't worry about So I love that. That
was,
is wonderful.
Good old-fashioned affirmative action win.
Thank you so much for having me.
It wasn't just Shaena that won today. It was people of color everywhere.
And the impression I was
Civil
doing.
Yes.
Rights. What is the ethnicity of the person you were playing?
She's white.
Terrance, a betrayal?
Nope. Shaena's awarded an additional point. She's,
Why are you panicking?
she's-
He's giving you more
Oh,
points.
God.
She wasn't sure. She didn't know what was happening. This pin can go any way. This can go any way.
Spider.
Don't question me, Ross.
getting a point.
She gets another.
Literally, Shane's getting another one. Oh, no.
I was worried.
That's right.
Incredible. Well, wow. What
What
a
a turn
bunch
of
of twists
Yeah.
and
It was a ride.
turns.
It was a ride.
You were from the future. We got the big reveal that you weren't. I appreciate that character's honesty.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
We like it.
Truthfully. You had a
Thank you.
spider run in.
Yeah, we did.
Like wherever it went, and if it wasn't picked up on the camera, people just think we're just making all that shit up. But I promise that wasn't a part of the show that we were making up and
wasn't
having fun
actually
with.
No, that was
So, what was the final score?
It was 43 to Shaena. You had 16 points.
That's the most points I've scored in this game, though.
The
so I'm
spider
still good.
had 3 points, and I had 16.
In the audience, gauging on whether or not you knew who Shayna's character was, you could either have
154 points,
154 points or like two.
or just 2.
Or just
two.
two.
Wow.
So if you knew,
Yeah.
congratulations, you actually won.
You're welcome.
And you should also probably message Shayna and say that, hey, I'm the only other person in the world who knew
exactly
the
who you were
character that you were playing. So Shayna, if somebody does want to message you and reveal
Yeah.
that they knew what you were talking about, they knew the impression, where can they find you to do so?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I Go By Shaena. That's SHAENA. I go by Shaena.
Not Igby.
Not
Shaena.
Igby.
The tale as old as time. Igby Shaena. Terrance,
Yes.
if anybody wants to hire you to come and host their show
absolutely.
or award points at
Yeah.
a game of any kind.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can find me at several places. I might be getting a drink at Adela's on Oak. It's a fantastic place. But you can find me at The God Show, THAGAWD, The God Show, SHO. But you can find me there, Instagram, Hulu, Netflix, if on Switch, Nintendo Switch.
Who knew?
You can find me outside. That is my handle everywhere.
You're super famous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
no idea.
Guys, let's come together in the middle.
Yeah.
On 3, what do we say?
Batman.
Batman fetish. 1, 2, 3.
Batman fetish.
Why did you panic again? The show's over, Shaena. There's no panic. You don't have to panic about anything anymore. You won.
Batman.